Excuse me. Hello, everybody. Lisa Bowles, otherwise known as the Soul Mapper here. It is 1 o'clock Eastern Time on Thursday, September 25th, 2025. We're going to be looking at October, and I have a lot to share. A lot of it really interesting and opportune for purposepreneurs like you and I. I am recovering. It's been a while. So I'm not turning my camera on today because I'm just a drippy mess. We're going to keep our focus on the slides. Yeah. Next slide, please, Erica. We're just going to dive right in. Now, you've seen this before. This is a review of the big backbeats of the year. They continue to be big backbeats. Excuse me. If you want to dive a little more deeply into things, please review the Live for 2025 replay or the notes for all the need to knows. Okay. All right. Next slide, please. These are the shorter term influences still in play. What you want to watch are the end dates. So we start with October the 6th. So we've got a little more than a week. And all the way down to the bottom, the end date there is June the 30th, 2026. Okay. Now, technically, that should be a big backbeat, but it's here so we can keep our eye on it. Okay. For those of you that took part in the deeper story of 2025, you'll see the looking glasses. That means that that has particular emphasis. Okay. All right. Next slide, please. October. Yes, next slide. All right, hold on one quick sec while I go grab my notes so I don't miss anything, Anya. One sec. Okay, got my notes. October the 6th till the 29th, so all within the same month, our communication savant, otherwise known as Mercury, working in Scorpio. Okay, cool. Now, the thing about our communication savant working here, it brings about a really important kind of zoom, okay? It wants us to strengthen our filters, okay? And what do I mean by filter? Practice heightened discernment, okay? Practice heightened discernment, because the other thing that is highly favored when our communication savant is here is the leaning into authentic to you or to your work, intrigue and mystery. When in Scorpio, the pull or attraction of intrigue and mystery is heightened, okay? And that can mean that people will step out of authentic intrigue and mystery. That's part of the nature or character of your own work, to try and leverage the call or the pull, the attraction, emphasis on intrigue and mystery. That's why raising your filters or your discernment capacities, 2 thumbs up. If you're someone who's actually leaning into your own work's natural or authentic intrigue or mystery, keeping people guessing just a little bit. And before anybody kind of goes, what? Think about movie trailers. They show you enough to help you become intrigued about the film, to give you reason to, maybe I want to go see that. Okay, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about pulling the wool over people's eyes. That's stepping out of authenticity. Okay, and the story of your work is the thing to focus on. Telling the story in a way that invites intrigue, that leaves an air of mystery, that's what we're talking about here. It's a perfect window for leaning into this. All righty? Yeah. Now, If you have a major announcement or a grand reveal, I wouldn't use this window unless you can use the window to create or heighten intrigue and mystery, and then make the grand announcement after the window, after the 29th. That, 2 thumbs up. Okay? So this is an opportune time for telling the story of your work in ways that is a particular kind of attractive, and use the month of October from the 6th to the 29th to build anticipation. Okay? From a marketing perspective, this is a really good period to lean into. All right? I wanted to make sure you knew about that. All right. Lovely window. Yes? Okay, next slide, please. October the 6th, we have a full moon in Aries. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's a big cue to be bold, but again, to be bold your way, authentic to you and the character of your work, not according to what other people say boldness or the culture in general say boldness is. It really is about unleashing your ability to be daring. All right? Unleashing your ability to be daring. Now, again, authentic to you, authentic to the character of your work. Okie dokie. It's not about, matching somebody else's boldness or somebody else's way of being daring, but it's about finding yours. And it's also because this is an Aries full moon, it wants you to act boldly. It wants you to dare and unleash something of yourself that has been, had some tight reins on it. Okay. Now, you might need to hang out with that between now and the 6th to kind of feel around for what that might be, or exactly what it is. And this will give you a nudge. Because full moon, heightened emotions, I would pay close attention to how you're feeling. And I mean deep down, underneath the surface layers of emotion. There will be a yearning to act in the name of something. And that's what I would encourage you to pay attention to. The other thing that's really interesting with this full moon is there's the kind of desire to be the best energy. Like, I want to be the best. Now, that can stoke competitive, okay? So take care. This is less about competing with others and more about competing with yourself. Think playing golf, okay? Say, can I play the next 18 holes better than I ever have? And the way to do that is A, to hone your skills, but B, to be more deeply rooted in your own best energy. All right? Now, that is worth paying attention to. There's more than one of these throughout the month, so there's lots and lots and lots of opportunity, and there's some pretty heightened emotional states. And because this is Aries, the character of Aries can bring to the surface in a kind of volcanic way anger and rage. So anything that's been bottled up or is not being governed well can just kind of, So you want to take care. Okay? I'm going to say that this is not the best day for hosting or facilitating a taste test or a webinar kind of invitation to folks. Because lots of pent up emotions that you could bump into unless you're really practiced at being self-possessed. But there could be a lot of people watching and listening who could be on the spicy side. I'd wait if you can. Unless you check your own stars and your own stars say 2 thumbs up and 5 gold stars. Okie dokie? Okie dokie. Next slide, please. October the 13th till November the 6th, our charisma of cause in Libra. Okay. This is one of those holy moly opportunities. So we've covered one. Now we've come up to a second one. And remember, these are windows. This is not just 1 or 2 days. These are windows. So what do we mean by elevate? People are going to feel compelled to elevate their presence. Some folks will do that through style, as an expression of authenticity, as an expression of here I am, as an expression of their work in the world. So they may feel deeply compelled to upgrade. I'm already feeling this one. Some may stay kind of surface, but in this particular case, this is how can you elevate your style, your as a deep and powerfully authentic expression of who you are now or what your work is now. Okay. This is almost like a homecoming parade. It is coming home to myself, but doing so in a way that expresses the elevations I've been living since the last time. All righty. Same with luxuriate. The call, because this is our charisma of cause, Yamini Yamana, and expressing through Libra, where she's very happy, very, very happy. We're going to feel compelled to luxuriate in experiences that are earthly. So what the things we smell, yum, 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 the things we taste, num, 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 the things we wear or lie down upon. Like we want a full, luxurious, sensual experience. And so if your work in the world or what you provide in terms of services or products speaks to that, this could be a very, very powerful window. And, as consumers, you may just want more things in your life that give you the experience of luxuriousness, that really stokes and supports you in experiencing the fullness of being human and delighting in it, luxuriating in it. That brings us to the third one, decorate. Now, again, that can seem really surface. And please understand, I'm not suggesting that we discount the impact on our ecology, our planet. But the call to have the decor that we live in represent and speak to, very much like elevate, speak to the inner content, the almost intangible content of our inner experience, so that the outer experience is a reflection. That's going to be real high. All right. So for those of you whose work or your business, what you provide falls into any of those categories, 2 thumbs up, 5 gold stars, opportune, opportune, opportune. Okay. So there's 2 to this one. The first one, willpower will be on the low side. Just know that, because we're going to want what we want. And as long as you remain self-possessed and self-governing, you can participate in ways that are delicious without throwing yourself madly into debt. Okay? But to know about this is going to be helpful there. Because when these two are working together, it can be pull. It can be big pull. The second, buyer's remorse is likely to be higher than usual once this window closes. So take that into account as you're price modeling an offer you're making, okay? And I would strongly suggest you make your return policies very, very clear. If you haven't looked at them in a while, now's a good time to look at them. And just review. Because of that willpower thing, people may just say yes, and then once the window closes or shortly thereafter, feel remorseful and want to know if they can bring it back or return it. Okay. So prepare yourself. All right. Next slide, please. October 13th, notice We've got repeat activity, more than one activity, kind of influence on single days. That's October. So keep that in mind too. October 13th, our transformer Pluto, who's been working in Aquarius all day, every day since November of last year, leaves retrograde. He's just going to be finishing his last retrograde on the 13th. Really interesting day. Okay. He's been retrograde since the 4th of May and has been inspiring kind of review and deep reflection on a couple of really important things. Systems, structures, social connections, social circles that need a good, healthy transformation. Now, if you think about what's happened between May the 4th and the 13th of October, so we've got another couple of weeks yet, we've been in some serious review and we've had lots of good reason to be. It doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, politically or socially, we have lots to think about. And so we've gotten some really healthy support from our transformer about that. So the thing that is really useful to know is starting the 13th and amping up as the days proceed is we're going to have a big fat green light flashing at us internally to start acting on the visions of change and transformation the last few months have given us cause to imagine or want. Now, that can be local, that can be national, that can be in your own work and business or your own life. Or it could be a little bit or considerable amount of all of the above. Okay? Don't be surprised if you're, because this coincides with some other really interesting things this month, including mystery and intrigue, right? We have a new moon in Aries, hola, hola, hola. The inner vibe, the inner is going to increase so that by the time the 13th rolls around, for a great many people, it'll be like, ready, set, go. Okay? If you start to feel an amplifying internally of tension around affecting change or wanting things to change, note that that's to be anticipated. Seriously, put a note in your calendar. So if you start to feel that uprising of tension, you know where it's coming from, and you can govern yourself. It's best not to rush. Okay? One of the things that often happens when we feel internal tension, creative tension increase, almost to a bit of a frenzy. Some people are going to feel a little frenzied. Is that we just jump. We don't take the time to sit with and deeply review, analyze, consider what kind of change really needs to happen and the piece of it that's ours. Because, when you're looking at something big, there are many, 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 many moving pieces. Which ones are yours? Which one is yours? And what approach are you called to take to it? Now, this is not reason not to act, not to respond, not to allow the creative tension build to prompt you into movement, but it is, how can I increase the degree of my self-governance, my ability to be powerful and contemplatively thoughtful, generatively contemplative, so that so that I don't step out of my call and my peace. Okay? Big deal. So some of us are going to feel that amplification of tension as we get closer to the 13th, and others of us are going to feel it on the 13th or after. Okay? Depending on who you are and how your map is interacting with this fairly substantial move. Alrighty? Pluto's big deal, folks. Big deal, especially right now. Okay, next slide, please. October 21st, we have a new moon in Libra. So we already have some really interesting and significant influence because Venus, our charisma of cause, is working through Venus. Now we got this. Okay. So the first thing to keep in mind with this one is it's going to encourage a balanced perspective. And by balanced, I don't mean fixed. I mean dynamically in movement, but arriving at a kind of measured to you, okay, authentic to you perspective so that you take in understandings from across the spectrum. Now, that's hard these days. Me too. And this is going to urge us, really significantly urge us to find our dynamic equilibrium in terms of perspective across the board. Alrighty? So that's point number one. And I'm going to be paying very close attention to this because I'm going to lean into this asking for help, making sure that I am, because part of my job, part of my ability to do the work that I do, both here with astrology, but in my coaching work, is to hold that place for all of us. Because nothing is on the move that doesn't have some value. But I have to be open to it. And I have to check my biases. I'm going to be leaning into this to help me check my biases so I can do my job and be the citizen in these times that I would really like to be. Okay? Second thing, it will be easier than usual to kind of fall in love with someone's potential. Now, you can look at that from the perspective of intimate relationship, but for our sake, you want to look at that from the perspective of a potential or existing client, okay? Or an existing or potential partnership of some kind, doesn't have to be legal. And by that, I mean like a virtual partnership, we join forces temporarily for X, those kinds of things. Because we could, without realizing it, kind of blind ourselves to orange and red flags. And that won't be helpful to anybody. Okay? The other thing that's really important here is we could have some really strong opinions about other folks. And you want to be careful not to be kind of throw your opinions into the mix and become overly involved. Kind of obliterate or walk right past a healthy boundary. Alrighty? Okay. The other thing to also be aware of is more folks could, especially the 2 weeks following this, almost demand explanation for someone's decision, someone's approach, you get my meaning. We could be a little more susceptible to that ourselves. You want to watch. You don't have to explain yourself. This could be a really good opportunity to work with a trigger so that you liberate yourself substantially or a little bit more. Because a great many of us have some owies inside about justifying ourselves, explaining ourselves, proving you get my meaning, okay? And this could kick some of that, okay? Because it's relational. Alrighty? Okay. Next slide, please. October 22nd till November 21st, our force of nature, the sun, working through Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpios. So this one comes with a big nudge to tap into or optimize financial opportunities. Ones that If you've got a kind of, I don't have any financial savviness. Are you sure about that? This is a fantastic window of opportunity, given there's a few other things at work alongside this. I'm not going to get into all the details, to help us do some clearing about feeling like we don't know how to handle money, we don't know how to handle finances, okay? Because it wants to help us tap, quote unquote, hidden because we don't look, or because we assume we can't, or that's not me, that there will be opportunities and earning potential, heightened opportunities around earning potential. We want to pay attention to that too. See what I mean about October? The thing to keep in mind, especially if you want to lean into this, and I want to encourage you, please lean into this. You want to switch your focus from what's missing to what's possible. And let yourself get strategic. A lot of folks, especially if we're female, we've been kind of conditioned out of, and this is a really good time to kind of take a couple of layers of conditioning out of the equation and let yourself be the kind of strategic we're often told is not cool to be. Horse caca. Okay? All right. What stokes your fascination? What stokes your curiosity? What stokes your intrigue? Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we have a little nudge in that direction? Yes, we did. Ha ha. Ha. Okay? So you can lean into the call to mystery and intrigue in advance of this officially starting to influence, so that you can kind of prime the pump in advance. All right? If your work in the world, your purposeful work in the world, involves helping people address money stuff, guess what? Not only is this window to your advantage, but so's the few weeks beforehand. So keep that in mind. It is a prime time to divest yourself of unnecessary money fears. Now, I put in the word unnecessary because in some cases that's kind of built into our mastery path, because we're trying to address something we haven't quite worked out. Sometimes some money stuff is part of the journey for us. But if you've hit a stale date when those no longer need to be part of your life, because now it's time, you really want to lean in. And I want to encourage you to do that, because where the energy of your attention goes, so is opportunity. Now, that can sound like a whole lot of manifestation hokum pokum to many people. It isn't during this window. I kid you not. We've been talking about alchemy in the Chiron course in the current membership. This has an element of alchemical yamana. And I want to encourage you to pay attention to that. But what you need to do is keep your focus on what stokes your inner fire deeply, not surface wise, way down deep. Okay? I'm going to be leaning into this one. I hope you'll join me. All righty? Okay, next slide, please. October 22nd till December the 10th. Oh my goodness. That's a chunk of time. Our dream keeper, Neptune, goes retrograde in Pisces. This will be the last time in our lifetimes that Neptune goes retrograde in Pisces. He'll go retrograde again, but it will never be in Pisces. Not for a very, very long time. So, he's been retrograde in Aries since the 4th of July. Interesting date, don't you think? Now he's retrograding all the way back into the sign that precedes Aries, which is Pisces. And it is a call to surrendered, and I mean this, surrendered reflection, surrendered contemplativeness, and soulful retreat All right. This amplifies the energy of mysticism and contemplative review. Okay. Now, because Neptune had been in Aries and was in Aries in retrograde since the 30th of March, we have a great many of us have been kind of going through the early stages of an identity redefinition. This has been having some really, really, really big sway. It's been stirring up all kinds of concerning conversation, and whether that conversation is just internal or because it's been showing up all over the place, especially in social media. It's like, holy. What this wants to do is help us hang out with what all that's stirred up for us personally and for us as citizens of culture. Okay? Because this is going to be taking place in Pisces, it's going to feel a little safer to do so, to kind of be with that's what's been stirred up. Because the first couple of months haven't necessarily felt safe for certain groups of people. And if that's you, my heart's with you. This is a call to hang out in the stir up so that you can see in what direction your identity, and it's like comprehensive identity, is in on the move, and how you're feeling about it, or whether or not you're allowing yourself to be with what you're feeling. Don't be surprised also if after the first week or two, a burst, it might be a bit slow build, but a burst of energy that kind of sparks you into trailblazing imaginings or visionings or dreamings that I'm going to say reignite your idealism. Our idealism has taken a few kicks these last couple of months. Yeah. So this is going to bring us back to our sense of idealism. That plus whatever's been stirred up, you put those two together with reflective contemplativism, and we have a really lovely window, not quite 3 months, but considerable, to kind of hang out. Yeah. Some folks I've been talking to and what I've been watching online is that their path forward as people, as professionals, as citizens has felt confused, foggy. I don't know. And that has been building up internal tension between our desire to take action and our inability to know what comes next. Everything's just moving so fast and going in 1,000 different crazy directions. So what this wants to help us do is be in surrendered reflection, like just put it all down. If you've been holding on to it with tight fists, whether you know that or not, your shoulders are up to your earlobes. This is the time to, okay? So you can review more gracefully, more restfully, and begin the process of integrating the lessons of the last few months. Even if you can't cognitively tell what they are, if you allow yourself to be in receptive contemplatism, then it will come to you. All right? Okay. Review contemplatively, softly, restfully, and let the integration begin. But if you turn away because it's uncomfortable, and just for the record, most of us are going to try that because it's really uncomfortable. Notice the discomfort and lean into whatever degree you can with as much gentleness and care you can. Another really good thing, useful thing while this is going on is to practice energy shielding rituals. Alrighty? Because we're going to go from braced, and I mean that, even though you may not have noticed it, there's a whole lot more internal bracing going on for a great many of us, to open. We're just going to go whoosh. If you're someone who practices energy shielding or having crystals around your home that help you do that, whatever rituals of care, energetic care, good things to start practicing. And I'm going to start practicing them a couple of days before the retrograde goes into effect. If you're someone whose work helps in this area, 2 thumbs up. Now would be a really good time to start telling the story and to offer people support or extend an offer, announce an offer. Now, remember about Mercury, our communication savant, all right? Keep that window in mind. But, okay, because this is almost 3 months opportune. See what I mean about October? Next slide, please. October 29th till the 19th of November, okay? Communication savant shifts into Sagittarius. Mercury goes Sagittarian. And this is, oh my goodness, a period of time in which clarity could be wowza, especially about your path, the path of the people you work with or for, or messaging. Oh my goodness. All right. Things are going to feel, for many of us, much more straightforward than they did just a week or two ago. And it wants to connect us to our philosophical fire. Okay? Authentic philosophical fire. Granted, some people are going to lean into this, whether it's theirs or not, but for you, it's going to call upon you, if this one really rings your bells, to be more outspoken. If you are attempting to know what your work's philosophy is, if you've been asking those questions for a while, because the truth is, every person, if you are someone who knows part of your calling, part of your purpose is to bring forward a body of work iteratively. So the body of work is a body, not just a single offering. This could be a very evolutionary time. If you're someone who helps people distinguish or clarify what their work's philosophy is, this could also be a really opportune time, okay? Take good care, because this could be wow, all right? Speak boldly, but softly. There are going to be likely a lot of loud voices competing with one another. So go easy. The thing that's really interesting about this is the clearer you are and the more you speak from your life's or work's philosophical fire, the more softly you can speak and the more effective soft will be. Okay? I kid you not. You do not need to yell to be heard if you are speaking from the authentic fire of your work's philosophy. Now, there's also going to be big ideas just boomeranging around everywhere, here, there, everywhere. I want to encourage you to have note paper or an audio recorder at hand so that if ideas start flinging themselves at you, you can record them. This is not the time to act on fresh, new, big ideas that excite the daylights out of you. It is the time to record them. And then once this window is complete, pay attention to how often one or more of those ideas come back to you in a kind of repetitive way. It's like, hey, did you hear me? I'm here. The ones that repeat themselves to you, that occur to you more than once, particularly after the window's over, those are the ones that are yours or want to express through you because of your unique nature, your purpose and calling, et cetera, et cetera. Just because 1,000 great ideas come your way doesn't mean they're all for you. They're just going to be boomeranging around. Okay? Consider, but look for the ones that repeat. All right? Okay. Next slide, please. Look at this. Okay, so we've talked about some really opportune things for folks like you and I. Look at this too. All right. Now, as I said before, there are multiple days in the month where more than one thing's happening. Same is true here. Let's review. Okay. So on the 14th, 2. On the 29th, 3. So you want to pay particular attention to those days. Okay. Let's go through them in order. Next slide, please. All right. October the 1st. Words are going to carry much, 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 much more weight, gravitas. All right? Much more gravitas. Be mindful about your words. I, just by nature of my purpose, my work in the world, I'm very aware of this all the time. And so I endeavor to be thoughtful, mindful, and as precise as I can be when I use words, because they have tremendous effect, or can. This is one of those days where the weight or magnitude of impact is heightened. If you're someone who uses words as part of your work, take stock. Okay? Big deal. And you want to be thoughtful about it. But just know that if you've got some talking to do or some writing and publishing to do, okay? Now remember also, intrigue and mystery. Next slide, please. All right, October 14th, connections. It's going to feel like, remember I talked earlier about big ideas boomeranging around? Connections will be the order of this particular day. The opportunity to connect with people who could be deeply important to your work or your journey, and reverse. So there's a lot of reciprocal yum yum here. This could be a wild day for heightened connectivity that's advantageous across the board. All right. And things could just take an unexpected but exhilarating turn with someone you already know. But this day just kind of opens the door. I'd be paying attention to that. If your work in the world is kind of as a connector, even a professional matchmaker, oh my goodness, is this day going to be opportune? Go for it. All right. On the 14th, oh my goodness, deep, deep, deep transformative vibes today, and powerful healing breakthroughs more than possible. So if you've been working towards some kind of transformative breakthrough, and I don't mean going at yourself with a pickaxe, that's not what we're talking about. Trying to force yourself to transform. But to gently lean in and ride a wave of loving, compassionate care into a really significant transformative breakthrough. Oh my goodness. You might want to book yourself a coaching session, a therapy session, a counseling session. If you do somatic work or energy work or sound, like whatever. Excellent, excellent day. Now, don't expect to walk in one way and leave an hour and a half later completely changed, but the door will open. It's the second time I've used that metaphor. And in the days that follow, there could be some really significant changes and shifts. All right. If you work with people and you know a handful of them have been really attempting to open the door to some big transformation, this is a really good day. It's a good day for one-on-one work in particular, but because of the Pluto and Aquarius stuff, yeah, group work can also be advantageous. Okay, just keep in mind that we won't quite be done the retrograde at this point, so keep that in mind. Okay, next slide, please. The 24th, our inner worlds are going to be so much more attractive and fascinating to us than the outer world this day. Now, you want to take care with this because it could mean that you are just paying absolutely no attention to the outer world at all, or you don't want to. If you are in relationship with somebody, or you are taking care of children or aging family, or with clients, you just want to take care. The thing that I would suggest, because you're not really going to know if this is going to affect you until you're closer to the day, you might just want to book it off and give yourself to the day. I know we talked just a little while ago about the potential of big breakthroughs. This could be a much more gentler entree into a breakthrough, because your ability to witness yourself could be wildly enhanced. And you could just see something or notice something and just go, oh, and have a lovely shift. Okay? All right. Now, the only other thing I want to say, because this could be important, fantasizing in a way that's detrimental could also be heightened this day. So take care. Put a little asterisk. If this one appeals to you, you can already feel yourself pulled in its direction. Just put an asterisk to remind yourself that fantastical thinking could be very, very heightened, and that could interfere a little bit. You want to be as self-governing as you might need to be. Okay? All right. Next one, please. All right. Detail work gets super, super, super boosted on this day. If you're someone who finds being detail focused tedious, a pain in the backside, or just not something you're built for, and you got some you need to do, or you're someone who just loves detail work, either way, this day is going to be yamana, yamana, yamana for being able to focus for longer periods of time on second detail. And to do the detailed work that needs to be done that helps the larger whole, the vision, the dream, start to come together. Okay? And every detail counts. I didn't put this in the notes, but I'm going to add it. There'll be a heightened ability to tell that some details matter more than others. Which ones to pay close attention to. There's a lot of us here in this community. We kind of open the gates to intuition, and we get bombarded with a plethora. And trying to sort out which is important to pay attention to. There's extra help with that on this day. So if you're a little leery, as I can sometimes be, about opening ourselves to detail, like the flow, the incoming, know that your intuition will be heightened to help you know which details are worth leaning into and, given your attention and, your activity to. All right. On the 28th, oh my goodness, this is a yummy. Penetrating insights plus enhanced willpower plus the energy to act. You put that together, and that's what this day will be, the 28th, yamana, yamana, yamana. The only thing I would say is don't overlook the obvious. Because penetrating insight, you put these three together and it'd be like, let's go. You want to use that energy, but not be used by it. Practicing self-possession so that you don't overlook what's waving at you gently in the periphery. Okay, because you don't want to miss anything and then use this energy in a way that, right? Right. Okay. Next slide, please. I kid you not. Ask, believe, and receive kind of day. No, and again, a lot of folks can go, oh, that's just, but this is another alchemically savvy energy day. So let yourself visualize what you most deeply desire. And you can use energies from earlier in the month to prepare you for this day. All righty. Again, you want to watch for the fantastical thinking because that won't be helpful. It will open doors to things that you might otherwise not let yourself imagine is possible, but you want to watch whether or not this is what our culture gets excited about, because that's not you. All right. Yeah. Next slide, please. See, we got more. Same day, big advance, move forward, tailwinds to ride today. So think about that in combination with what we just talked about. Okay? Holy cow. The other really cool thing about this day is there's big boosts supporting deep touch marketing approaches. And when I say deep touch, I mean talking about real things from real heart with real story. You put those three things together and you put it out there on this day, whoo. Now that means you gotta work on it in advance of this day, but you have that in combo with the ask, believe, and receive energy. Now again, you want to watch for fantastical thinking. What does your heart deeply ache for? Okay, and if it doesn't show up like someone just waved a magic wand, don't lose faith. The wheels will be put in motion. All right. Seriously, not kidding. Next slide, please. Curiosity plus ideas plus insights, whirlwind. Now, remember we talked just a little while ago about ideas just kind of boomeranging around? This is going to be similar. But what's different about this is your curiosity will be heightened so that the ideas and the insights that are flying around, you'll feel less bombarded and more like, oh, that's mine. Oh, wow. What if I put the two together? Okay. Your curiosity will be super powered in combination with the whirlwind. Okay. Now, again, you want to give it a day or two after this is over to just see what keeps coming back to you knocking, just to verify. But this could be a very important day. So if you've been feeling a little stale, a little, a little flat, this could turn your world right side up again. Okay. Now, it is not the best day to form a new partnership. And I mean that most sincerely. Because what could come is wild curiosity about someone who's got great ideas. And you could just leap in. That's not, this day's not for that. Okay. So just take care. All right. Okay. Opportunity. Next slide. Oh, you already done it. Thank you. So these are days in which the opportunity to switch something from kind of feeling bleh, or, oh, that's hot, into something really important and powerful, potent. That's what this is about. So next slide, please. On the 11th, okay, whistle blowing on pacifying porous boundaries kind of day. What do I mean by that? Your internal whistleblower is going to go, hang on, wait a minute, hold the phone. Have I been letting people walk on me here? Uh-huh. That's what this day offers many of us, where we have been setting aside or overriding our own inner instincts for the sake of quote unquote harmony. Not harmony. Mm-mm. So if you know that you have a little bit of the disease to please, or something along those lines, or a new boundary, because you've been evolving, because you've been identity shifting, because you've been elevating, it's now time to put a boundary in place that didn't need to be there before. This day will let you know. Now, I want you to also know that it could feel uncomfortable as, all right? Because it might mean you need to be a little more emphatic. It might mean you need to find, a longer backbone. It might mean that you need to be a little more steely, and you need some time to reconcile kind with steely. Lean into the discomfort and let this serve you, because it could be a big deal. Okay? Okay. The 13th, the line between fantasy and reality is going to be very, very blurry on this day. Okay? Keep your heart open. Creative passion is very likely, but you don't want to ignore the things that go, The opportunity here is to tell yourself the truth about the deeper truth about the fantasy you've been wanting and where it might be compromising you or your way forward. Okay? Just take care that you seeing what you want to see rather than what's really there. Okay? Again, remember earlier we had it'd be easy to fall in love with somebody's potential and not with the reality. There's some more here too. Um, and that's opportune, uncomfortable, but opportune. And then on the 17th, personal bias amplified day. So you want to take care. But again, it's an opportunity to see where bias has been clouding your vision, has been shaping your approach to things without you necessarily realizing it. Again, might be uncomfortable, might be a little rude, but useful, opportune. Alrighty? Okay. Next slide, please. Hotspot days. Oh my goodness. Now we only have 3. They're worth paying attention to. All right? Next slide. Dialogue to diatribe. Before you can blink, you could be in conversation with somebody, everything's going great, and then whoosh. So take care. Personally, I will not be on the socials this day. It's just too easy. And I would recommend you put this at the top of your day in your calendar to remind yourself, so that when you go into conversations throughout your day, whether they're personal or professional, you remember that this is floating around. It might not be you that goes diatribe, but you want to maintain whatever degree of self-possession and sovereignty you can if someone else is influenced by this and they go diatribe. Okay? Because, whoa. October the 20th, claws out, power struggle, communication. And I emphasize communication kind of day. Again, this is a day not advantageous for doing taste tests or webinars or anything close. Unless your stars say 2 thumbs up and 5 gold stars. But it's so if you know that you can count on yourself to be steady and self-possessed, cool. Just know that there will be people listening or participating who won't necessarily be able to be. Okay? I don't know about you, but I think I'll pass. Alrighty. And I'm not going to publish unless it's absolutely freaking necessary. I'm not going to publish anything. I'm not going to post anything because it's a volatile day. And then the last one on the 24th, this is a day when tension, people aren't even aware they're carrying, or they've just gotten really good at carrying it and don't recognize the tension is buried, could just go into conflagration, like whoosh, okay? And this is, it's a volatile kind of day. Now, not everybody's going to be feeling this, but those who do probably won't be aware of it until they flash. So keep that in mind, okay? We're a minute past the hour, so we're going to go through the rest real fast, okay? Next slide, please. Favorite fields. Now, you've heard me talk about a few, so you probably already know some of them. Carry on. Next slide. We're not going to go through all these, but if you want to, I would take a screenshot of this and have it in your line of sight. Keep in mind that some of the things we talked about, I haven't been overtly here, favorite fields, but if they sang to you while we were talking about them, add them to this, okay? And there may be more than one that intertwine in your work. Hello, okay? Now, magnum opus is one. This is a month when either the launching of your magnum opus within the windows that are advisable, mind you, or the working on your magnum opus, 2 thumbs up, okay? And if you're someone who helps with that deeply by listening to people's work for them and with them, 2 thumbs up. Serious. Okay. The other thing, the last thing I'll say, number 14. If you've been feeling a little curbed about travel, this month, easier. There's still some factors in play. Okay, so we're not going to go down that road, but there's more green light for travel this month, especially if it involves a retreat or intentionality or something along those lines. Yeah, green light. Okay. All right. Next slide, please. Our next slide for November, this is a change of pace for us. It's on Friday, October 24th, 2025. Okay. Friday, October 24th, 2025. You might want to jot that into your calendar, whether you use paper or digital or both right now, because it's a little more than a week early. We needed to make that adjustment because we got some personnel needs at this end. So that's why. Okay. Friday, October the 24th, 2025, at our usual time of 1 p.m. Eastern, whatever that is, where you happen to be. Okie dokie. Next slide, please. Which of October's influences are calling you? Now, there's a lot to choose from. Please let yourself practice discernment. You don't have to catch them all. Which ones are speaking most to you? Oh, right. It's motion map season. Keep a sharp eye on your inbox. Next Wednesday, if you already know you want one, we'll be opening the big doors next week. Okay? Now, some are already gone. That happens more and more every year I do this. So if you know you want one, you know what to do. All righty? Okay. Whew, October. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink of water. My throat. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Anything you want to share? Hello? I know there's a few people still here. You, was that just done so masterfully? You guys have no questions at all? Mhm. Oh, look at y'all. Isabel. Hi, Isabel. Um, it's lovely to have you here. Anybody got any questions? Anything they want to share or dive more deeply into? Karen, you have your microphone
I
on.
do. I was
Hi.
just going to say, I found this really helpful.
Oh, good.
And what was really, and I just wanted to say what struck me maybe most was that when you were talking about Neptune retrograde in Pisces and talking about the retrograde in Aries, and
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought about it, but I definitely have felt that early identity or the identity redefinition.
Yep.
And I've actually been having some of that, I would say Pisces stuff already coming forward with igniting my identity. So I just
Oh, good.
thought that was really interesting, and I'm looking forward to
Good.
seeing where it goes.
Good. Yeah. I feel you. The more softly you can hold it,
Mm,
the easier it will be to walk yourself through.
that sounds
Okay?
right.
Yeah. Because a lot of us, myself included, we've been holding on to it with a little bit of white knuckling going on because there's just so much crazy ass shit going on that it hasn't been an easy season for many people.
Yeah.
And, it's been a couple of months. So we have kind of started getting accustomed to be white knuckle. And this will be a very different feel. So I'm glad you're already noticing it, Karen.
Well, I know I was super frustrated like the first 6 months of the year, feeling like I wanted to move away from the US. And
Yeah.
then I started getting into sustainability options that started flowing. And like tonight, I'm going to a city council meeting on data centers that I've
Good.
gotten into, which I wouldn't have expected to be getting into. So it's
Uh,
all very interesting, and I'm just letting it flow
yeah.
with that whole Pisces.
Yeah. And that's going to be hot button issue over the next 10, 15 years. So
I think
yeah.
it's going to be cool to be working on it.
Yeah.
And
Good. That's
we're
awesome.
actually trying to put an 180-day moratorium on it in our city because there's so many data centers coming to Illinois.
Right.
So it's exciting to hopefully shape the future in a good way.
So I want to throw out a word for you, Karen.
Mhm. Mhm.
Clean energy. Keep your eye on clean energy developments because data centers, there's no stopping them. Just want you to know.
Yeah, that's what we're actually focusing on,
Okay,
insisting that
good.
we have clean energy, and then we know that there's water issues as well. And in
Right.
our case, we have enough. There's sound issues from the
Oh, okay.
chillers and the. In this case, we have some diesel engines, but I'm
Oh,
actually going to try to throw in byproduct synergy because I used to run a byproduct
oh,
synergy network.
good.
So I'm going to try to.
Good.
So it's very
Right
interesting.
up your alley, girl.
It is up my
Oh,
alley.
that's so good to hear. Okay,
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it.
You're
Alex,
welcome.
hi.
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 Um, I think it's, I guess, more of a share than a question, but
Mm-hmm.
um, like I've been kind of feeling into that sort of reinventing myself or where do I go from here thing for a while now.
Yeah.
And when you were, there were two things. One, when you were saying what you had given some things and were saying what jumps out at you is
Yeah.
the thing for you. And when you said magnum opus,
Yeah.
it's like I've already been kind of thinking into that I want to get like this month coming October, get back into playing with my magnum opus that
Yeah.
I kind of put on the side for a little bit
Right.
because of some
Well,
other things going on. But
understandable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like the pull to like, okay, let's see if we can kind of get back into that.
Great.
And also the thing that you said about decoration,
Yeah.
I did something just the other day with that really helped me
Yeah.
because where I live now, it's like eternal summer.
Right.
And that's like my least favorite of the seasons. And I used to live in New York, and my favorite time was autumn. So
Mm,
it's like autumn in New York is beginning now. And I was, at first feeling sad that I'm going to miss it again. But then instead of staying in that, I decided, okay, maybe I can bring some of that here. And
mm-hmm.
I decorated my space with, like some autumn things that made me feel that energy. And I made myself a little pumpkin spice drink and,
Nice.
and all of a sudden, instead of feeling, lethargic and sad, I felt like my vibration raised just
Right.
by
Tuning
the
into,
use of decoration
yeah,
and bringing that energy of what I wanted that maybe isn't naturally here, but I can bring a little bit of that and still enjoy it. And it made me feel good.
I love that. I love
And
that.
it
That's,
gave me energy to, like
yeah,
for the things that I want to do
yeah,
instead of feeling sad and
right,
not wanting to move.
right. You don't have to miss out on it. You can bring a part of it to you.
Yeah.
I love that. One last thing, Alex, before
Mhm.
I move on to the others with their hands raised. Philosophy. You may find, and there's support for it this month. Excuse me, sorry. That the philosophical heart of your magnum opus might have deepened or widened or shifted a little. You might want to pay attention to that, given the two are working together this month and that
Yeah.
magnum opus spoke to you. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the case. Things have deepened quite a bit in the
I
past couple
would
of
not be
years.
surprised at all. Okay. So you might want to start there before you dive more broadly into the magnum opus itself. Does that make sense?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks so much for sharing, Alex. Enjoy your pumpkins. Okay, Sabine. Am I saying your name right, Sabine? Or is it Sabina? Oh, shoot, I turned your microphone off. I didn't mean to do that. Sabina? What happened? She's gone. Oh, oh no, you're here still, Sabina.
Oh, there.
There you
Now
go.
I turned my audio back on. Thank
Okay.
you. It's Sabine.
Sabina, thank you
Yeah.
for helping me know how to say your name correctly.
Thank you for answering me here.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I was look if I remember it correctly, the Neptune retrograde all the way back into uh Pisces.
We're going
And
back to Pisces, yes.
yeah, and then what had been about, deep contemplation and review, basically. So that coincides with, I've been on a particular spiritual path for 40 years, and there's a worldwide gathering every spiritual New Year, which is the 22nd October.
Right,
And this one is a very, very special one, because there's a changing of the guard in the leadership of the spiritual path.
right.
And I haven't gone. There's always the consideration of you can attend that inwardly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or whether to travel and go there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a very deep reunion with soul family.
Right.
And my life has been, let's just say it's gone way, 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 way off the track of anything, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that, but I feel, just as a context, I feel like nothing is certain except like an inner compass.
Right.
Um, so how does what you brought to our attention there, how does that bear on the decision of whether to physically go or to stay, for me, to stay in to stay home and kind of regroup and renew
Right.
inwardly?
Um, I want to share with you a practice that can really help you be in your own inner recognition of right direction. Would that be okay with you?
Yes, that's wonderful. Yes.
Okay. So, in the briefest terms possible, like if you can keep it down to one or two words, Put on 2 pieces of paper, stay home, travel. I mean, it should be pretty straightforward. And then flip them over so you can't see what's written on the pages. And then shuffle them till you can't tell which page is which. Put them down, face down on the floor, about a foot apart. Take your shoes and socks off and take a breath or so, and then step on one of them without knowing what's on the page. And just let your body speak to you. You might have sensations, you might have, yeah, this doesn't feel right, or this feels awesome, or I can't feel myself from the waist down, like anything and everything. Take note of them, then step off, take a couple of deep breaths and shake the energy off. Then step on the second piece of paper, same thing. Listen to what your energy and your body say, whatever it is, all that it says, okay? And when you're done, step off, shake it off, and then turn the pieces of paper over and be with what each one told you, even though your mind wasn't involved in the process. Okay?
That's invaluable. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. With Neptune in retrograde into Pisces, it's an opportunity for us to touch back in with what is deeply true and become more clear, even though many of us are in the midst of identity change shift because of what's going on around us, because of what's going on inside of us. So it's a bit of a respite, but a retuning too. Okay. But your energy field will be able to communicate with you much more easily if you use that particular practice. And then you have a better sense that it's not your head that's trying to decide. It's your life that knows. Okay.
Yes. In what sense, Lisa, is it respite? Is there respite in this?
Well, it's respite from the Aryan energy of.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Aries has got a very, very, very different feel and, orientation than Pisces does. So it's a respite from that.
Yes. Thank you
You're welcome.
for all of it. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Wow. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah. Let us know how things turn, what your energy tells you. If you're on Facebook and you're a member of the group there, the private group, let us know.
Yes.
I'd love to hear.
Okay. I do that gladly. Yes. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks, Sabina. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's Savina is another version, so that's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
You too.
Okay. Patrice, my friend. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Aloha.
Aloha, yes. Thank you first for this decision right direction practice. That was wonderful. I
good.
really appreciate it. So thank you, Sabina, for asking. I have 2 questions. And the first one, thank you, Alex, because you brought this back to me. The magnum opus, I'm not really sure exactly what you mean by that. It's interesting to me whenever I see the favored fields because it's like they're all there.
Yeah, a lot of them are, but
Yeah. So what exactly do you mean by magnum
Yes.
opus?
So, my understanding of what a magnum opus is often it is the culminating piece of work of a body of work.
Okay.
Yeah. See? So it's a culmination piece.
So I guess I'm just thinking in terms of life.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't your life be the culminating piece?
Well,
Or-
I'm speaking more of creating or eliciting a piece of work that you offer
Okay.
to the world, like a book or a manuscript, or you know what I mean?
Got it. That helps.
And those are just examples. It could
Yep.
be an ultimate offer, a class that is a combination of pieces of your work that you've offered distinctly and separately, but now they come together in some way,
Got
shape, or form. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Um,
Got it.
yeah.
That helps.
Okay, good.
Okay. My other question is like, I'm just now entering my second year of being in the community.
Yeah.
And I did get a motion map last year and I do want to get one, but I know that my motion map I had it in early February, late January. Did I
Yep.
order it at this season? Is this the whole season when it starts? Is that how it
It
works?
will be for 2026
Right. Oh, okay. So
next year.
yes.
Does that help?
I think it helps. I'm just trying to figure out because I know there was like a time frame and there were only so many, and I waited and I didn't sign up immediately, but I'm assuming this is the time of year. Is it only open once a year?
The offer is, yes. So
Okay.
ordinarily the motion map is $495,
Right,
but during motion map season, it's reduced to $300.
right.
And 30 openings are made available. I think at this point, 8 or 9 are gone,
Okay,
already spoken for by folks who've had them done before and let me know they wanted them.
Great.
So when we throw the doors open to the whole community next week, if you know you want one, I wouldn't hold off too long.
Got it.
Unless you have to. Like if your finances just don't allow, then don't jeopardize yourself. But just keep your eye on how many remain available. We'll update folks. If they start going really fast, we'll let folks know so that if you know you want one, you can go grab one.
I think Patrice is a member of the current, so she should already have
Oh, okay.
ability to buy.
Okay, Patrice. So you might have check your email inbox because current
Okay.
heard about it.
Yeah, the link went out yesterday, and if you don't see it, just email me at concierge@thesoulmap.com and I'll hook you up.
Yep, Erica, thanks. I did see it. So yes,
Okay.
thank
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
With the wider doors opening for everybody in the community, not just members, happens
Yeah.
next. Is it Wednesday, Erica?
Yes, ma'am, a week from yesterday.
A week from yesterday. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else got a question or a share or a wondering? Okay. Does that mean we're full for the month? We're done? It feels like it might be. Okay. Thank you for being here again, my friends. Thanks for giving, the energies and helping hands of our proxies and the way they're working together, especially now, especially coming October. My goodness, there are a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of unsettled energy because we're in the midst of what we're in the midst of, but there's real opportunity out there. I want to encourage you to pay attention to the 1 or 2 that call your name. If you try and take advantage of them all, you'll drive yourself crazy. And nothing is like, all of them are not for all of us. So just let your heart tune into what is calling your name. Okay. If you have questions or wonderings as the month proceeds and unfolds, please remember, come on over to Facebook. Our private live Facebook group is always there, and I'm in and out fairly often. I'd be happy to help. Yeah. Thank you for investing yourself in these times of ours. It matters. It really does. Seen or unseen, it matters. And I'm grateful. All right, folks, you want to take your microphones, all put them on so we can all say goodbye. Take care, everybody. I'm so grateful you're here.
Thank you.
Thank
Right now.
you.
Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.